I'm never gonna look back, 'cause damn, I was built to last. You move slow and I move fast, and that's facts. Only I can make a change, slowly take a step today. I will never be the same, 'cause that's what it takes.
Good morning, Terry. Welcome to Parx Tuesday, baby.
How are you?
We make a good number here, 111. We go across 3-1. So I don't know if that means anything. Maybe it's like in the movie Ghostbusters when they combine across streams, it makes us more powerful.
Well, I think it means something because that's my wife's favorite number. Every time she sees it, she says,
the number 1 or 11 or both?
The 111.
111.
Yeah, 3 ones. And she says, "Oh, we're going to win today."
Well, we got the blessings of Honey Bunny today, baby. What can you do? They can't get any better than the blessings of Honey Bunny.
It can't. It really can't. I mean,
Terry can speak firsthand. I can't. Well, it's a long card today at Parx, Terry. And for Charles, we've decided to add in a third layer today, which is going to be the Philly 5. And that Philly 5 is why we're a minute or two late today, because making a couple of extra graphics today and then trying to throw together the video there at the last second, Terry, which was able to get done. So hopefully I got everything not too mixed up today. That's the goal, but it doesn't always work out that way, right?
I understand. And actually, there's quite a few scratches. So
yeah, well, hopefully we don't get too many more now. I know it's muddy over there today from what I read.
Yeah.
So it might have an impact on the track for sure. So I think in a muddy day, probably going to emphasize speed a little bit more. Wouldn't you think?
I do. Yeah, I think it will.
Yeah. Well, let's find out how that's going to play out, Terry. We'll get cracking with race number 1 at Parx. Let me pull up the conditions on my screen as I bounce around from page to page here. Too many things open. This one's 1 mile and 70 yards, Terry. It is a claiming 12,500 with a purse of 21,000. Fillies and 3-year-olds, or fillies and mares 4 years old and up. Why not just filly? I get it, because fillies are 3, mares are not. Upward, which have never won 2 races, Terry. And taking a quick look at the profile of a winner at 1 mile on the Philadelphia dirt track. You have 111 races. There you go, Terry. Here we go again. 111. I guess that means it's going to be our lucky day, because we got 1-1 and then 1. And then race 1 is, well, it should be 1 mile and 11 yards. And that would really, I think I would probably, I'd fear the number 1 for the rest of my life. But in any case, of those 111 races, 74 were won by speed. 26 have went wire to wire. There is an inside 3 bias. And if you wear a number 8, it outperforms 4 through 7. That's not an issue today. Get us started, my friend.
All right. Well, in that first race, number 1, females. And I like the number 1. What are you waiting for?
Mm-hmm.
She won her last race at Parx Racing. The rail post is winning at 20% clip, and she switched to a high percentage winning trainer. Then I like number 3, a bit bad and Bouger. She finished, baby. Yeah,
bourgeois.
Bourgeois. Okay,
that's it's the communist term for the people who have money.
Anyway, she finished 3rd in her last race at 1 mile and stretches out now in distance, and I think that'll benefit her. She has a high percentage winning trainer and a decent workout. And then number 4, Starship Rogue. She won her last race at Parx Racing, receiving the highest last race speed rating, and has a decent workout on April 5th of 37.2 breezing, 4th best to 16. And then number 6, Bold and Naughty. She is my 4th pick. She has won 1 race out of 3 races easily at today's distance at Parx, and the trainer wins 17% of the time in routes, and returning to a route should help her.
All right. For me to crack off this day where, as Charles mentioned, the conditions are tough over there at Parx today. So it should make for a fun day of handicapping. I would imagine we'll see some prices. We'll see some. It should be an interesting day of racing. I'm looking forward to it, Terry.
Yeah, me too.
All right. So I'm going to start off with there's a little joke in here, but I won't. Bold and Naughty has the top early pace and late pace combination in this field. Broker made in a couple races back with an outside post. Didn't seem to like the inside in the more previous races or the closer races to today's date. So going back outside, I think helps. And I think it also helps that the horse is going to make its third start off a layoff. I'm not quite sure, Charles. What do you think? You think the outside post or the inside post will have the advantage today with the rough track? Number 2, Sharon's Law. That horse has improved across the board. Last out, just needs to run back to its 3 races to its optional claiming $16,000 win. And then what are you waiting for? So then I tell my kid now that he's about to graduate from college with those resumes, get them out. What are you waiting for? You ain't going to sit around the house all summer, my man. And you didn't go to college and didn't go to a good prep school so you can go work at Target. No offense to working at Target, but that's not what you went to school for. Anyway, This horse is going to get the rail, which does have an advantage. I don't know if it will so much today. She won her last and gets a big weight break as well. Number 4, Starship Rogue has the top early pace figures in the field. Can go to wire if the fractions are right and the conditions are favorable with the track today. So maybe we want to think about upgrading that one a little bit because of the ability to go wire to wire. Race number 2 is a 6.5 furlong claiming $5,000 race with a purse of $18,000 for 3-year-olds and up, which have not won a race since October 19th. So not all that long ago, Terry. A 6.5 furlong profile of a winner on that Parx track looks a little bit like this. 52 races. You had 34 won by speed, 17 of which went wire to wire. There is a big rail advantage here. And the 2 and 3 outperform the 8+, which outperforms 4 through 7. So based upon the horses in the race today, it looks to me like you want to be either the 1, 2, or 3 should have the most advantage post-wise.
Yeah, that sounds right to me. But in this race, I actually like an outside horse. Number 2, second race, number 6, my first choice, Mr. Roundtree. He came back after being off for 7 months and finished a disappointing 10th, but he drops in class today, and he has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. And then number 1, my second choice, Mondays with Mike. He ran second versus similar in the last race at Parx Racing, and the rail post is winning at a 29% clip, and he has the highest last speed rating. He has a trainer jockey combination who in the last 14 days has won 2 out of 7 races. And then number 7 is my third pick, Dizzy Gillespie. He comes in from Gulfstream Park to try Parx for the first time, and his best dirt speed is fast as today's starters. He drops in class today. And then number 5 is my fourth choice, Classified Info. He ran second versus similar in his last race at Parx Racing at today's distance, and this trainer wins 17% of the time in any of the claiming races that he has a mount in.
Tim G, welcome. Good to see you. We thank you for the kind words. We really appreciate that. We'll be playing Horseshoe, Indiana tomorrow. Just a little funny story, and they're updating some picks in the guaranteed tip sheet yesterday, Terry. And the name of the track is not Indiana Grand any longer. It's been renamed Horseshoe, Indiana. Took me forever to figure out what the hell was going on because we're so technology reliant nowadays.
That's right.
All right, race 2, Mondays with Mike is how I'm going to kick it off. We'll go with the Charles angle. Let's start on the inside and see how it works and adjust from there on the crappy track conditions. At the top last race, speed figure, and this time it's cutting back in class after showing some major 2 and 4 long improvement last out. And that rail is hitting at a nice 29%. Champers is a Gulfstream shipper, Terry. Kind of surprised that I didn't see that one on your list. It is a track drop, gets a weight break, and his last race was much better than it looked as his fractions were a little better than in the previous race. Number 6, Mr. Roundtree. This one, as I say, Terry, your top pick. It did blow a tire in its last race, but it was his first race since August, so clearly we think the horse could be better in its second start off a prolonged layoff. This horse has done fairly well at Parx with 13 races, 2 wins, so it likes to hang a little bit, it seems to me. 6 seconds and a third. Finally, closing it out with Classified Info, which is what this show should be, Terry, because the information is so good. Shouldn't be public, right? Have to be approved by the president.
That's right.
Go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, and for your information, Champers is my first alternate. So
Well, classified info has some giddy up and go out of the gates. So again, if speed does hold up on the muddy track today, you should see the horse do better, especially since it showed a little bit more interest than normal in its last start. Race number 3, Terry, is an interesting race. 5.5 furlongs, claiming 12,500. This one is for fillies and mares, 3-year-old and 4 years old and up, which have never won 3 races. That's not what makes it interesting, Terry. What makes it interesting is this is the battle of your long shot is my best bet. How about that?
That's kind of cool, isn't it?
I don't know. Has that ever happened before?
Yeah, I think one other time a long time back. So
I don't know that one's best bet's been the long shot. So in a way, are you rooting for my best bet to win or for your long shot to win?
both.
All right.
So,
Well, will you tell us why the 2 is a long shot play, and I'll tell you why it is a best bet play, and then you can finish out your picks.
all right. Well, first of all, yesterday my best bet ran third, but it was only beaten a half a length.
Well,
and
this
a
is your
nose.
long shot. It's my best bet.
That's what I meant. My long shot was only ran third, only beaten a half a length and a nose right at the end there. Frustrated the heck out of me because I had made a pretty nice bet on it. Paid $680 to show. So anyway, I like in the third race these girls. I like the number 2 as my long shot. Make a Joyful Noise. She won her last race by 10 lengths at Park Racing by leading all the way, but she is very versatile, so she can either lead or come off of the pace. The trainer wins 19% of the races with the horse that won its last claiming race. Then number 3, Hit a Homer, Honey. She came in from Laurel Park and won her first race at Parx by 8 lengths. She will probably just run just behind the leaders and try to pick off the leaders in the stretch. And then my third pick, number 5, BB's Rocket. She finished in the money in the last 3 races at Parx, winning one of those races and finishing third in the last race. She has a decent workout on February 19th, 49-1 breezing. And then I like number 6 is my 4th pick, Lady Mistress. She won her last race at Parx Racing and received the highest last speed rating.
Well, I'm going to go with Make a Joyful Noise. When you put the trainer Ronald Dandy and Edwin Riviera together, they've only been together 10 times, Terry. So not a whole lot of times. But they won 4 of them, right?
Yep.
They ended up in the money in 6 of them. But the most important number there to me is that they have a positive ROI of $3.44. That's a big positive. As you mentioned, Make a Joyful Noise absolutely demolished a field of 10 last time out, winning by 10. And then I think her style definitely fits today's track. Been on the off dirt twice, has a win and a second. So hopefully we'll see a repeat of that today. And it's been my experience, whenever you see a horse have a blowout win like the 2 did last time out with that 10-length win, they usually do come back with a strong performance in the next race as well. Something just clicked. Hit a homer, honey. My next selection, we both started 2-3. This is another one that took it to the competition in the last time out, winning by 8 1/4 lengths. It's a pretty big run. It was their first at Parx after running at Laurel in Delaware. It's a little bit of a track drop. It seems to like the track, so maybe a budding horse for the course. So if the 2 does not make my best bet or your long shot come home, Hit a Homer, honey, probably be the one to snatch that title away from Make a Joyful Noise. 6, Lady Mistress, jockey Andy Hernandez rides for the third time, in 4 races, has a win and a second by just 1 1/4 in the previous 2 out of 3. I only wonder if the distance is maybe a little too short for Lady Mistress. It looks to me like it's 6 furlongs was the miss, 6.5 furlongs was the win. So cutting it back to 5.5 furlongs, which we forgot to mention. In 5.5 furlongs have been 42 races, 33 of which were won by speed, 21 of the 42. So quick math says that's 50%. Went wire to wire. There is a slight edge if you wear a 4 and out. And then finally, Imperial Moon is my last selection. Trainer Alexander Martinez wins 4 of his 7 times when the horses are coming back from a prolonged layoff of 90 days or more. And this horse has 11 furlongs of okay works, getting ready for this spot.
Okay, I have something to say. I sounded a little bit confused there on that third race, and it's because that isn't my long shot. My long shot of the day is in the 7th race, the number 2. So, and I checked my notes, and that's what I have. So
I must have put it in the wrong spot. All right,
Yes.
then. Well, it would have been fun if it was a long shot best bet, Terry.
yeah, it would have been.
Yes. Well, I mean, maybe I was wishful thinking on my part, right?
Yeah.
Well, I may have gotten that wrong, but hopefully I don't have your box it up wrong here, right? Hey, Mike, how you doing, my man? Good to see you out in East Texas. Hope everything's down right there, right?
That's right.
Clearance races are tough as the claims in for horse. You're never sure if the best horse will win. It's claim money plus placing money equal first place money. Trainers will work with each other. Yeah, it's always a tough call down there. All right, Terry. So hopefully I got your box it up right. This one's race number 4. I had a nice little box it up yesterday. Too bad I missed the superfecta. My horse ran 5th instead of 4th to make for the superfecta. But I think the exacta paid for that buck like a 67 and the trifecta for the 50 cents over 120, if I recall correctly, because that 2 horse, which is interesting because I brought up that chart. I put it over my Twitter feed for Parx where there was a couple of race shapes yesterday where there was just a few horses that like speed. And that was one of them where the 2 horse, which didn't show speed, came to win anyway, because the other ones maybe ran a little too fast, and it paid what, $30 to win, right?
Yeah, and that was really it was really a good box it up, and you also had the best bet of the day one. So
well, hopefully we can do all that again today, Terry.
Yeah, well, my
best bet was
correct.
not your long shot, but this is your box them up. So go ahead and box them up for me, Terry.
All right. Let's see. This is in the 4th race. I like number 1 is my top pick. We Will Be There. He has won 2 races out of the last 3 at Parx, finishing 3rd in his versus similar in his last race. But he had some trouble in there. Was in a really tight spot at the 7/8. The rail post is winning 20% clip, and he has a high percentage winning trainer. And then number 3 is my second pick, Decalogy. He ran 6th in his last race at Parx at today's distance, receiving the highest last speed rating, and now drops in class today. The trainer wins 21% of the time in the second race after claiming a horse. And then my third pick is number 5, Green Growth. He ran 3rd, and then 2nd, and then he ran 1st, running himself into shape, and now goes for a 2nd win in a row. The trainer wins 18% of the races when bringing the winner of their last race back. And then number 4 is my 4th pick, Piggy Bank. His last win was at today's distance at Park. He has the highest last speed rating at today's distance, and he likes this track and distance.
I got some bad news for you, Terry.
What?
Your long shot, you might want to go back to race number 3 and make it your long shot, because Nick just told us that the 2 has since we started scratched.
Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah, because that really alters all the stuff we did in the back half with the Philly 5 and the so we'll have to make some substitutions there and see if we can't clean up those sheets. I'll try to do that in the background, which is going to be tough. Anyway, race number 4 is a mile and 70 yards, Terry. This one is a claiming $7,500 with purse of 22 for 3-year-olds and up, which have never won 4 races. Pretty simple. A mile and 70 yards, as we mentioned to start the show. 111 races, 74 won by speed, 26 going wire to wire with a little bit of inside and outside bias. I'm going to start with number 1. We Be There. Was better at the beginning and the end in his last start. As we mentioned, the rail is hitting at a pretty high rate, 20%. Horse loves himself some Parx, running there 7 times with 3 wins and 2 seconds. Trainer Mario Dominguez and jockey Angel Castillo, they've won 4 of 10 together and in the money at 8 out of 10. So a lot of things checking off in those boxes. Decalogy, the 3-horse, did run the top last race speed figure last time out. Drops in class. You know how I love putting those 2 things together, Terry. Back to the level where he was claimed, so I'm not so suspicious of the class drop here. Gets a weight break, and if the horse just runs the same race that he just ran, it will be tough to beat. Mission Oberon, the 2-horse, showed plenty of early pace in 2 of its 3 races at Parx. Last time out showed that it's maybe going to carry that speed a little bit farther by improving his late pace numbers. And I'm expecting the horse to be better in the second start off the bench. And then finally closing it out with number 5. Green Growth is a neck away from winning 2 in a row. Showed a lot of toughness in his last with his 4th speed number increase in a row. I'm just a little worried that Green Growth may have used up a little bit too much in that last race. And if so, then look out for Samaranti, the 8 horse, as my 4th possible selection there.
Okay, then I changed my long shot to the 11th race, the number 5.
All right. Well, we'll get to that a little bit later, and we'll get to our picks as we move on. So let's see, Terry. Last night, unfortunately, Bree and Culp could not make it to the show. We had, if you watched, we had a lot of technical difficulties. Yeah. Sean was going constantly, right?
Yeah, he kept
freezing the whole time. As Madonna used to say in the old 80s, he was striking a pose, right?
Yeah, he was. It was kind of funny. Sometimes you could hear him talking and he wasn't moving. So
probably better that way, I think. No?
Yeah, probably. But it still was a really good show. I enjoyed it. You guys have a lot of fun together. So.
Well, we try to talk a little bit about interesting things that pertain to horse racing, and that Keeneland. If you haven't seen the numbers at Keeneland, are crazy. They're going to do over $200 million in handle in the spring meet, just giant numbers. And then Ed DeRosa put out a picture of the crowd with the sarcastic, racing is dead, and it's not a matter of if racing's dead or not. It's just that the rich are getting richer and the poor are getting poorer in the sport, and hopefully we can find a way to correct that. Maybe HISA does that. It's another thing we talked about last night, where Monmouth wants to go ahead and institute the HISA rules for the whips. So they go from no whips to whips this year. And it's a question I want answered. It said you can't do more than 2 cracks in succession. How do you define succession? I mean, is that like bang, bang? Or is it bang, bang? So how do you define that? So if anybody knows what 2 hits in succession is, maybe we'll find that answer tonight when we have on, hopefully, we don't go 0 for 3, Terry. We're going to have on jockey Kevin Roman. He's currently just tearing it up at Fauner Park that's in Nebraska, right?
I think so, yeah.
So Sean and I will be on tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern with jockey Kevin Roman. Make sure, if you haven't done so already while you're here, hit the subscribe button on YouTube. If you like what you're seeing so far, please, like Tim B, give us a big thumbs up. Tim G, excuse me. We'd appreciate that. The more thumbs up we get, the better our ratios are, the higher we go up in the Google algorithms. You can also follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Horse Race Today, or you can follow me, wrong hand. It's funny how everything is backwards on the screen at HRT Rich. I try to post some stuff that my Twitter feed that we don't provide here. All right, Terry, let's move on to race number 5, I think, right?
That's right.
So race number 5 is I have to click on the screen here, 1 mile, claiming 16,000 with a purse of 25 grand for fillies and mares 3 years old and up, which have started for $16,000 or less, which have never won 3 races, or claiming price of $16,000 and have never won 3 races. Whew, a lot going on there. At race 5, 1 mile, 43 races, Terry, 25 of which were won by speed, 12 going wire to wire. The post position is an outside 7 in. So there's like a little bias. So 7 is better than 6, better than 5 down to 1, and 8 gets a penalty. Go ahead and get us cracking for race number 5.
Okay, I liked number 5 as my top choice, Beach Days. She won 2 races out of the last 3 races, drops in class today, and has the highest last race speed rating. Her best start speed is fastest among today's starters, and she has a very high percentage winning trainer. Number 6, my second choice, Sweet Samurai. She has finished in the money in 8 out of the last 10 races, so she's very competitive, winning the last race. The trainer-jockey combination the last 14 days have been in the money 6 times, win 3 of those. And then my third pick's number 1, Positive Power. She came in from Laurel Park after running 3rd in her last race there, drops in class, and has a bullet workout at Laurel of 4 furlongs, 48 and some change, breezing, best out of 19. And then number 9 is Chelsea's Wall. Chelsea's Wall is my 4th pick. Number 2, she ran second versus Tougher in her last race at Parx Racing, has the highest speed figure at today's distance, and she also has a pretty decent workout of 5 furlongs, 102 and change, breezing 4th best out of 16.
All right. So in that race number 7, Terry, there's now only 4 horses. So I went ahead and just reordered them for you. It's going to be 4, 5, 3, and 1. So in race number 5, I also like number 5, Beach Days. Last time out, ran for a lot of money, $100,000 in a non-graded stakes. It finished second. It was a distant second, but if you look internally, you saw that there were better numbers in the second half of the race than Beach Days usually runs. And it still resulted in the top last race speed figure for this crew. Number 1, Positive Power. We're getting the track drop here from Laurel. It was a bullet work on April the 9th. This horse has some early gas, which I like, especially when you combine a horse that has early speed with the weight break, which is what we're going to see here today. Sweet Samurai, the 6-horse, Parx. It's one that likes to hang a little bit to me. If you look at its record at Parx, 6 races, 1 win, 2 seconds, and a third. So in the money, 4 out of 6. At the distance, see the same thing. 5 runs, it has a win, 2 seconds, and a third. So occasionally, if the conditions are right, Sweet Samurai finds the winner's circle, but more often than not, looks like it finds a reason to lose. Perhaps the trainer-jockey combination of Louis Acasio and Louis Linder Jr. Together, they've won 7 of 21 races, in the money of 14 out of 21. But the really nice thing here is they have an ROI, which is kind of interesting to me because Louis Linder is a good trainer there, and Louis Acasio is a good jockey. They combine them, put them together, and they still managed to put together a positive ROI of $3.74, Terry. So that's a strong number, my friend.
Yes, it sure is.
And then Chelsea Wall, winner last with the career best speed number, was disqualified. Does have the same record at Parx as we see with Sweet Samurai, 6 races, a win, 2 seconds, and a third. Should be 2 wins now, but that was the first ride for jockey Jeremy Laprida, who rides again today. So I'm just kind of concerned when you see horses that break out to a new speed figure high, if maybe they're due for a little bit of a bounce. Tough to tell, but it's possible, right?
That's right.
Race number 6, Terry, is 7 furlongs, claiming $7,500. A purse of $20,000 for fillies and 3-year-olds or fillies and mares, 4-year-olds and up, which have never won 2 races. And honestly, Terry, I can't wait till we have a hostess that can handle all this stuff, because every now and then they get a little dry. 7 furlongs, Terry, 69 races, 47 won by speed, 18 of which went wire to wire. It's fair from post positions 1 through 7, but you do get a small penalty if you wear an 8 or a plus. You're flirting with the 8 or plus there, Terry, on the first pick, going over it with the second pick. Yeah. Why do you like number 7, Vanquish? No, I'm in the wrong race here. Write the check.
Well, I like that number 7, Write That Check, because she came in from Aqueduct, and she's got a new trainer who wins 40% of the races in the horse's first start with that trainer. She drops in class and has the prime power number of 107.7, which is the best in the race. And then I like as my second pick, number 8, Beautiful Star. She finished 3rd in her last race. She has a high percentage winning trainer, and in the last 14 days, that trainer has won 2 out of 6 races and ran 3rd twice. Then I like number 5, Miss Alex, is my 3rd pick. She ran 2nd in her last race at Parx Racing, and she's earning the highest last speed rating while doing that. And then she switches to this high percentage winning jockey. And number 1, Broad Jumper, she finished 3rd in her last race, and the distance won't be a problem for her.
All right, so we're in race number 6, right?
That's correct.
All right, number 5, Miss Alex did run the top last race speed figure, as you mentioned, Terry. Gets Ruben Silvera today. Was the favorite last time out, got beat, and did show a little bit of regression. So I was a little bit worried about the 5-horse here, but still trended out as the best horse for me. I was looking to downgrade it. So if I was going to downgrade it, I probably would flip it around with number 7, Write the Check. Trainer Jordan Bullock, winner of 4 of 10 in his first effort with a new horse. And here we get a big weight break as well for the 7, Write the Check. Number 8, Beautiful Star. Solid numbers across the board in its last race. Should move forward in the second race off the bench, which is a 27% winning angle for trainer Tyler Service. Service family does pretty well up in the Atlantic Coast area. Number 6, Sweet Ballerina. This horse looks to me just like the best of the rest, but 3 of the 4 of the first 4 were no good in this horse's career. Should be right off the pace, and we'll try to go by horses late. Race number 6, Charles, is our favorite distance at Parx, and unfortunately, off the field is pretty much, there's only 4 horses in the race. Everybody else is scratched out, so we have the 4, the 5, the 3, and the 1 in this 6 furlong affair, which is... Are
you going to do the hot dog pick 4?
Oh, yeah, we can do the hot dog pick 4, Terry. You're right. Let's do that. Hot dog pick 4. We skipped right over that today, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's why we need a hostess, Terry, and we're going to be working on that. Hopefully, we'll have somebody introduced soon. So race 3, 4, 5, and 6, Terry. You went 3, 2, 3, 2. I went exactly the opposite, 2, 3, 2, 3.
Yeah.
So maybe we should just go 3, 3, 3 all the way down and call it a prime rib.
That'd be good, huh? Wouldn't it?
Or at least ground sirloin or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
So there we go, folks. This prime rib is our low budget. And you know, the funny thing to me, Terry, is when I personally bet pick 4s, I tend to lean more towards the hot dog side. And quite honestly, I think in my horse degenerate time playing the horses, I've won a lot more hot dog pick 4s than I've won prime rib pick 4s.
Oh, that's good news. It's very good news because they're a lot cheaper to play.
I don't know why. I think maybe because when I play a hot dog pick 4, maybe I feel more certain about the horses I'm picking, and if I do a prime rib version, I'm less certain. It's kind of like scatter shot with the the shotgun. I'm just kind of hoping, and when you hope, it just seems to me like when I hope I don't hit.
Yeah, I understand.
So race number 7, Terry, was supposed to be your best bet. It's no longer your best bet. Maybe you should make it your best bet. There's only 4 horses in this race. It is 6 furlongs, claiming $25,000 for a purse of $30 for fillies and mares 3 years old and up, which have not won a race since January the 19th, or have which never won 4 races. So there are only 4 horses in this field, Terry. Your best bet. So looks like we both like the number 4 horse as our top pick. But take us through the one of I think just maybe your top 2 or 3 picks here, Terry, will be enough, because the 1 horse is just kind of like an afterthought because neither one of us had it rated.
Yeah, actually, that was my long shot of the day. But I like as my first pick now, number 4, Cheryl. She ran 5th in her last race, but it was a 100,000 K stakes race, and she dropped some class today. Prior to that last race, she won 2 races in a row at Parx Racing. Has a high percentage winning jockey and a trainer who wins 20% of the claiming races that he enters a horse in. Then I like number 5, Vic's Cool Cat. She has finished in the money in 4 out of 5 races this year, winning 2 of those races, drops in class today, and she has a jockey who has a record of 8 in the money out of 12 starts, 3 wins, 4 seconds, and a third. Then I like number 3, Systematic Risk. She ran 2nd versus similar in her last race and may improve at a shorter distance today. So because my other horse was scratched, let me get over here.
You got the 1 horse, Terry. That's the only horse that's left in the race. So, I mean, that's why it's in there. I mean, so for me, I like Shiro too, the 4 horse. Last race was better than it looked on paper. It had faster fractions. Horse likes the distance, ran there 6 times. Finished in the winner's circle 4 of them times. And as you mentioned, Terry is coming in from a $100,000 non-graded stakes race. Number 3, Systematic Risk. 2nd last time out with across the board better numbers. And has a decent workout since. Vic's Cool Cat, your 2nd pick, my 3rd pick. Or the 1 horse. Vic's Cool Cat coming in from Delaware, Pimlico. Hasn't run at Parx yet, so not quite sure what you're going to get out of that horse. So really, for me, this race is about the 4 and 3. I'm going to go ice cold exacta 4 and 3, Terry, in race number 7.
All right.
Which also kicks off the Philly 5, Terry. And we'll be
does.
doing the Philly 5 momentarily. I guess that scratch of the 2 horse might change our picks around a little bit. But
it
we'll
does.
see.
I've already done my.
And then added selections and needed for odds. In terms of your pick 4s, what I typically do when I do my pick 4, the way I break down my ticket is I'll look through the 4. So I make my notes and I do all the things that I do to get prepared. And then I read through my notes and see, okay, where's where's kind of like the break in the attitude on my notes, right? So you'll see if there's some things I'm confident in when I see, like one of the things I see that's really been working lately is horses that have been running faster fractions from one race to the next. It's been a big indicator. And if you look through my notes yesterday at Turf Paradise, you'll see that there were quite a few winners where in my notes I wrote that it had faster fractions in its previous start, including that 2-horse that paid $30, Terry.
Yeah.
So I don't know how these things, if they work in cycles or I just noticed them along those lines. I like Vic's Cool Off the layoff. So hopefully for you and Terry, Vic's Cool does it. For me, and not so much, man. Yeah. All right, so let's move on to race number 8, Terry.
All right.
In the back half of the late pick 4 and the filly 5. 7 furlongs, optional claiming 16,000 for a purse of 25 grand. For 3-year-olds and upward, which have started for $16,000 or less and which have never won 3 races, or claiming price of $16,000 and which have never won 3 races. Oof, a lot of things there. 7 furlongs, Terry. Just a quick recap of what a profile of a winner looks like. 69 races, 47 of which won by horses that were no worse than third at the first call. 18 of the 69 led from gate to wire. It is post positions fair 1 through 7. And if you wear an 8, you're going to have, or higher, a little bit of a penalty. Just fire away with number 1. Can't Stop This Man.
All right. You can't stop this man. I'll tell you that right now. Anyway, I like this horse because he finished second versus similar in his last race at Parx Racing. Has the highest last speed rating and his best speed, dirt speed, is fastest among today's starters. The trainer wins 26% of the time when he brings back a beaten favorite to race again. Then my second choice is number 3, Buffalo Shuffle. I like that name. Anyway, he likes Parx racing.
Not like a dance from like the 20s when you were like a teenager.
Yeah, that's true. That's funny. Anyway,
so what was it like to live under Calvin Coolidge, the most under-talked about president?
Yeah, I know. It was pretty calm, I guess.
The roaring 20s, my friend, right? The Great Gatsby and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it was calm for me, though. And of course, since I'm that old, I look pretty young, don't I?
You look great for a centenarian.
That's right. Anyway, this horse likes Parx Racing, finishing 40% of the time in the money and winning 20% of the races. The distance won't be a problem, and he drops in class today. He has a high percentage winning jockey and a decent workout on April 10th of 49.4 breezing. And then I like my third pick, number 8, Uncle Gary. He has won 2 races out of the last 4 races, drops in class today. The trainer wins 17% of the races in sprint races, and he has a jockey in the last 7 days that's been in the money 8 out of 12 times, winning 3 of those races. And then number 7, Nelly. He ran second versus similar on an all-weather surface and may improve while trying dirt for the first time.
So I'm going to start off with numero 2, Can't Stop This Man. Been lately a Denzel horse, spending a lot of time close to the winner's circle, but not in it. It's not unfamiliar with the Parx winner's circle, as it's raced 8 times at the Philadelphia track. 2 wins, 3 seconds, and 2/3. At the distance, though, singing Bob Dylan, knock, knock, knocking on the winner's circle's door. 7 races, 2 wins, and 4/3. So maybe likes to hang a little bit late. Just doesn't have the mentality to get to the line first. But last time out showed huge 4 furlong and late pace improvement. So I hope it doesn't bounce here, Terry. I hope that's an indication that that's going to carry on through to today's start. Distract and Attack. Sounds like a war game or something along those lines. That's how my kids play cards with me, right? They try to distract me while they cheat. Anyway, they ran some better fractions last out. Also has the same record at Parx as Can't Stop This Man. 8 races, 2 wins, 3 seconds, and 2/3 at Parx. I think the shortening up in distance today should help distract and attack. And that could be a good strategy for the jockey, right? Just yell something, hey, look, and then take off. Uncle Gary G. Uncle Gary is actually my uncle's name is Gary, but his last name doesn't start with G. It starts with A, Hendricks, like Jimi Hendrix. Oh. This one's going back to a level that works for him. Should be on the gas from the buzzer. Frankie Pennington and trainer Joseph Taylor. They've only teamed up together twice. They have a win, and the other one was a finish in the money as well. And that combination produced in those two races a positive ROI of $4.10. So if they can continue that trend today, should boost the exactor, trifecta, or even the win. All right. Number 7, Agnelli. This one's coming in from a Turfway Park, as you mentioned, and prior to that, Woodbine. So it is what I would consider a track drop. But as you mentioned, Terry, the horse has never run on dirt before. So that's always a question mark to me. 20 Port, or whatever the name of that horse was, kind of screwed me up a little bit last week in the Lexington, because he had never performed well on dirt and actually ran on dirt and then went around and won the Lexington on me. So we'll see if Agnelli can do the same here today. Before we move on to your best bet, Terry, and race number 9, if you do win your best bet, Terry, what's the kind thing that people can do?
Oh, they can go. Well, they can go and buy it.
Yes, that's it. You can look as good. Now think about this. Terry was a teenager in the 20s, right? I mean, he looks fantastic today, considering he was a teenager in the 20s. I don't know so much if it's Terry or if it's the shirt, but if it's the shirt, Terry, head on over to horseracingtoday.net, click on HRT gear, pick yourself up a red number 1 t-shirt, head off to the track, and everybody will know that you're smarter than that, right? Rich number 8. Number 2 and 6. So race number 8, we're getting more scratches too, Terry.
The 6 was actually scratched, and I should have told you that this morning at 10.
So it looks like he's saying. Are you saying, Nick, that 2 through 6 are out, or 2 and 6 are out?
2 and 6.
All right, good. So, and that's in race number 8. So
yes.
The 6 is out. All right. So distract and attack. Forget distract and attack. Put in Terry's Buffalo Shuffle as my alternative pick. So let me correct. So my picks are going to be all goofed up when we do the the prime rib and so forth. So mine's going to be 1, 8, 7, and 3. So the same numbers as you.
Okay.
All right. So, and not because it's just where I had the next horse in there. So, all right, let's pull this back up. All right, Terry. Hopefully we have all the races in race number 9. This one's 1 mile, optional claiming 16,000, purse of 32 grand for 3 years old and up, which is started for a claiming price of 12,500 or less since April the 19th. Or claiming price of $16,000. The 7 horse in this 1 mile affair, Terry, hold on one second. The 43 races, 25 won by speed, only 12 of which went wire to wire. The post position outside, you have an outside in bias from 7 is better than 6, is better than 5, so to speak. And then you do get a penalty if you go 8+. Number 7, Ruby Blue, is your best bet. Tell us why.
Okay, I like Ruby Blue, number 7, because he finished in the money in all of the last 6 races. Winning 3 of those races and finishing 3rd versus similar in the last race, but only losing by a neck. He earned the highest last race speed rating, and he has the highest speed figure at today's distance, and the trainer-jockey combination last 14 days of finishing in the money 4 out of 6 times, winning 2 of those. Then I like number 1 as my second choice, R-Man Luke. He ran 2nd versus similar in his last race and won the race before. He has finished in the money in all 3 of his races and at Parx, and he's also got a high percentage winning trainer. Then I like number 4, Alejandro's team. He has finished 3rd or 2nd in the last 5 races. Maybe today will be the breakthrough win for him. He likes the Parx racing, finishing 70% of the time in the money, winning 20% of those races. And he likes this distance. He's actually been in the money 83% of the time at this distance and won 33% of the races.
Nice
numbers.
numbers.
And then, the number 5, my friend's beer. He won a race and then throws a clunker in without any apparent reason. I couldn't figure out why. The trainer wins 18% of the time in the routes. And my friend's beer may improve at the shorter distance. So,
all right, Ruby Blue, your best bet is also my top selection here. Did run better fractions last time out, and as I mentioned just a few minutes ago, just seems like that it's been working all across the country. Better fractions, especially in the first half of that last race for Ruby Blue last time out. You got a jockey-trainer combination here of Penny Pierce, the trainer, and the jockey Abner Adorno. They win together at 35% and in the money 76% of the time. And they have a positive ROI, not as big as some of the numbers we talked about earlier today, but still 81 cents to the good side. Number 3, Colonel Juan drops in class, and the resume says he'll be better in round 2 off the bench. The last time out, if you look at the race on paper, you might say to yourself, yeah, it doesn't look so good. But again, here we find a horse that ran faster fractions. Number 4, Alejandro's team in the money, 6 in the distance, ran 6 times, has 2 wins and 3 seconds. So clearly likes to run 1 mile. Last time out, the horse ran a little bit better than it did the previous race. And the good news is that race was in the mud. So you might actually think about upgrading the 4-horse here. Number 1, our man Luke has a win, place, and show at 3 races at Parx since coming in from Monmouth. Has 11 furlongs of work since March 23rd. And it's a horse that should be ready. I was kind of laughing a little bit there last night because I was thinking about last night. I was watching Mountaineer Park and Mark Patterson, and I felt like for a second there, I sounded a little like Mark Patterson, right?
Yeah, you did. Yeah, go ahead.
I would say Charles says Penny's a really good trainer. Yeah, I've hit a couple races there at Parx with Penny as the trainer.
Yeah, I played Mountaineer last night, and I did pretty well. I played some tournaments there too, and I only missed. I got a $200 payoff, but I only missed the $500 payoff by about $2. So pretty close.
Well, maybe if you had played your long shot like I'm about to in race number 10, which is a 6.5 furlong, allowance $8,000, purse of $30,000 for 3-year-olds and up, which have started for a claiming price of $8,000 or less since April the 19th, 2020. So number 4 is my long shot in this spot, Terry, at 6.5 furlongs. What we've talked about, 52 races, 34 won by speed, 17 of which went wire to wire. You have a big rail advantage, a overall inside 3 advantage. 8 outperforms, 8 and plus outperforms 4 through 7. I know the big favorite here is going to be number 12, Xavier, who has just been lights out at Parx, winning 9 of 13. It's my second pick. It's Jamie Ness, Frankie Pennington, winners of 3 to 5 together. But it just looked to me like in the charts that the 12-horse may have peaked a couple races back. Double the Heart just missed going wire to wire in its last effort with better early race numbers. I think this horse is likely to be the pilot or co-pilot in this spot. And if it can get to the lead in the mud, I think it has a chance to upset here. So that's why I like number 4. You're going to go with number 12, Xavier, as your top choice.
That's correct. And I like number 12 because he loves park racing. As you said, he's won 9 out of 13 races. So he's a horse for the course. He has the highest last speed figure at today's distance. He has the best dirt speed among today's starters, and the trainer-jockey combination in the last 14 days. Been in the money 4 out of 5 times, winning 3 of those. So he marks a lot of boxes. Number 4, Double Heat, your long shot of the day, has finished in the money in his last 4 races, winning 2 of those and finished 3rd in the last race. He is a speed horse who wants to lead, so the shorter distance will only help his case. And the trainer in the last 14 days have won 2 out of 5 races. Then I like number 5 as my 3rd pick, Studio B. He has won 2 races out of the last 3. He will probably run mid-pack and try to catch the leaders at the finish. And then I like number 6, 1000%. He ran 2nd versus similar in the last race and has a couple of good workouts in a row.
I'm going to go with number 9, Hollywood Talent, Terry. That's something you have. I'm surprised you missed that. Terry Hollywood Hay, and you don't have the Hollywood horse in there. You disappoint me sometimes, my friend. You're not as predictable as I thought. Anyway.
I know, and that's a good thing.
It is a good thing. Hollywood Talent hasn't run since September. All right. But the horse does have a history of running all right when it comes off the bench. Does have some okay works, but that last race, Terry, was a grade 3 win. So big drop in class here. So I think it's coming back to a level that probably fits. Maybe it's a tune-up race with a chance to win. Maybe that's what the trainer's thinking. But the horse has run at the distance 10 times with 3 wins and 5 seconds. So clearly the distance, the class relief, the history of coming off the bench running okay. I would have liked to see some faster works, but we'll see if the horse perhaps runs better today on the track. 6,000% was a tough call for me over the number 5 horse, Studio B. Studio B's coming in from Penn. I'm not a big fan of that. We've talked about that before here, despite the fact that Studio B gets the also ran well at Laurel. But nonetheless, I do like the fact that 1000% has some experience and done well at Parx. The last race of the day, Terry, is race number 11. It is 7 furlongs maiden claiming, $10,000 race. It's a great place for you to put your long shot in there, Terry. So your long shot, and I just went crazy here with my box it up because I feel like there's I have a lot of high priced horses in here. And if just like yesterday, if one of them can find its way in the winner's circle to come in behind it for second and third, could make for a nice box it up. You're going to start with your top pick as a long shot. It's my top pick too. So go ahead. Why is it a long shot?
Well, this horse, and it's hard to pronounce his name for me.
It's Por Supuesto.
Okay, thank you very much,
You're
Rich,
welcome.
your official pronouncer. Anyway,
Yes.
this horse led all the way to just before the finish line. Then, and he ran second versus Tougher in his last race. So he really dug in trying to win that. And now he drops in class today. So I think he's going to run pretty well today. Number 7, Downtown Kremlin. He ran third versus Similar in his last race, has a high percentage winning trainer who wins 26% of the maiden claimant races. He has a horse entered in. Number 2 is my third pick, Rumor Control. He took a 9-month break, switches to a high percentage winning jockey who has in the last 7 days won 3 out of 12, finishing the money 8 out of 12. And this horse makes a really major class drop today. Has a lace, and he has Lasix added. And so then I like number 10, My Quest is my fourth pick. Has a high percentage winning trainer, drops in class today, and his best dirt speed is fastest among today's starters.
So Por Supuesto is dropping in class. And last time out, I saw Z pattern improvement. The horse was better in the early part of the race, kind of took a little bit of a break in the middle, and then again showed some improvement in the late part of the race. So I think Por Supuesto can take it home. Number 10, My Quest, is dropping in class. As you mentioned, trainer Philip Aristone wins at 24% of the time when going down 2 classes. And it's also a horse making the third start off the layoff for the trainer, Aristone, and he wins at 21% going that way. Number 2, Rumor Control, as you mentioned, Terry, is making that maiden special weight drop, the biggest class drop in all of horse racing, Tom Carley drop. Was decently bet in its June debut, gets first-time Lasix, even though it's coming off that big drop, that big layoff. So I think maybe the horse might be a little bit rusty. I know it's likely going to be the big favorite in here. And then number 3, it's the first off the claim for trainer Mario Dominguez. He's done that 57 times this year, won 37% of those races. So a huge hit rate for trainer Mario Dominguez. And on top of the fact that he's got a big hit rate, he's also taken some weight off of the horse. That is my box it up. Well, let me pull that up on the screen here again, Terry, real quick, so that you can see it is what a box it up is. It's a $1 exacta box, 50-cent trifecta box, 10-cent superfecta box, Terry. And it's also the end of the Philly 5 and the end of the prime rib pick 4. Yep. So let's go ahead with the Philly 5. Let's pull that up. But because of scratches in race number 7, it's going to mix some things up. So do you want to substitute the 3 for the 5, Terry?
No, I don't. But I want to put the 5 in the fourth leg, race 10. I want to add the 5.
You're going to add the 5 in the fourth leg. Okay, so hold on a second. So you're going to go 4-5, and then you're going to go 1, 3, 8, 7, and then you're going to add in the fourth leg, you want to add the 5. All
so
right.
It'd be 4, 5, 12.
All right. And then on the back end, you're still going to have the same. All right. So I'm adjusting this in the back end. So for me, I'm just going to keep everything else the same, except I'm going to go with mine's going to look like this. Hold on a second. I'm just adjusting everything real quick. Hold on. Copy. Paste. All right. So here we go. So looking at the Philly 5, what it's really going to look like now is like this, Terry. So let me remove this. So here is our Philly 5 right now. Race number 7. I'm going to go 4-3. Terry's going 4-5. Terry's going 4 across the board in race number 8. I'm only going to go 3. I'm going to go 3-3 in races 8 and 9. I'm just going to go with the 4 and 12 in race number 10. And then Terry's closing it out with his 4 picks. And then I'm going to go with the 5, 10, 2, 3, and 8 on that back end.
All right.
All right. So now this is what our prime rib pick 4 looked like originally. So 1387, that's still the same. 71, that's still the same. So your prime rib doesn't change at all, does it, Terry?
No, it does not.
So for me, in race number 8, did the 6 scratch? Yes, it did. So mine's going to be, instead of the 6, I'm going to have the 7. Otherwise, everything else remains the same. So mine's going to be 1, 7, and 8. And then everything else remains the same. Mine's $90. Terry's is $96. So a little bit of a change there in terms of what our prime rib pick 4s and what our hot dog pick 4s look like. Not our hot dog pick 4s, right? Watch the 6 in race number 11. So Charles says, I see, hey, Jared, good to see you today, my man. It got a little bit mixed up here. So let's see. So Charles says, scratch that 1711 one I gave you yesterday at Parx. Actually, yesterday I was really busy, Terry. Did you catch that one?
Yeah, I used it in my tournament. So thank you very much, Jared. Charles
says, 2 horse from race 10. My long shot, play Cowboy Karma. Will do, Charles. Hey, Rich, we doing the Kentucky Derby card show? We're going to do some Kentucky Derby stuff. We're just putting that all together. So I will get details out on that. Just missed Philly pick 5 yesterday. Had 4 or 5, only 2 tickets won. Ooh, it would have been nice to have that 5th one for 29 grand, right?
Yeah,
for sure. Watch number 6 in race number 11 for Jared. And then his long bomber of the day. All right, Terry, that wraps up our picks for today. If you're going to go over to FanDuel today, which is the opening day for FanDuel, head on over to Guaranteed Tip Sheet. You'll see it is the free track of the day. I will put a link to it in the description here on YouTube. Number 1, 6 mini dress is the favorite of is one of our favorites, the mini dress, Terry, today at FanDuel. So make sure you head on over there and check that out. Yesterday at opening day at Mountaineer, as you mentioned, some good stuff over there yesterday. A lot of winners, not a lot of high-priced horses came through yesterday. So there were some still managed to get some nice exactas and trifectas. I think it had about $1,500 of potential winning. So hopefully we do the same sort of good work today at FanDuel.
Oh, there goes the first race at Philly.
First race at Philly. So let's see how this one plays
out.
Well,
come on, 1. Stay up there, 1. Come on. Step for second at least. No,
I think
3-6-1.
3-6-1 on that first leg.
Yeah.
And I didn't have the 3. You had the 3. Good way to go, Terry.
Thanks.
Hopefully, all the ones are for your honey bunny, not for me. So it's going to be your day, right?
Yeah, but I was wanting that 1 to stay up because I have played a tournament there and I had the 1 in the tournament. So.
Did you? Well, he still finished second. No, he finished third.
No, he finished third, yeah. 3-6-1.
Nice outs. Well, one thing you might want to take it, it's going to be pretty close. I don't know if the 6 might have gotten him. It'll be close. Did they show the final?
Yeah, they're showing it again slow. 3's in front. The 1's running second. Now the 6 is passing the 1 right here.
Yeah, I don't know if the 6 caught that or not. It's going to be close at the wire.
Might be the 6 instead of the 3. 6-3-1.
Yeah, it could be. Let's see. Boom. Had the 3. It's going to be close. Had the 3. So I hope for all you guys, the 3 won that race. But it looked pretty damn close to me at the end there. Yeah. It's going to be a tight photo. But one thing you might want to pay attention to there, the 6-1. I'm hearing it in my ear right now.
Yeah.
6-3 and then 1. Well, my top pick won, Terry, but you had the trifecta. So maybe you, right. Charles, you should have put it on the 6.
That's
right. I wish the 3 would have won for you guys, quite honestly.
I do too, but it would have been nice, right?
Speed and rail or presser. So it looked to me like, though, that outside lane might be the better one right there, right?
Yep.
So keep an eye on the first couple of races, see how they play out on this muddy track. If they play out, continue to see the outside lane, then maybe you might want to adjust your picks to move them a little bit outside. Any final thoughts before we get up and out of here this Tuesday, Terry?
Yeah, just have a good day today. Be safe. Make sure you tell your loved ones how you feel about them, as long as it's good.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a great time again today.
Right? Yeah. They can feel good about themselves.
Yeah, and I appreciate everybody's comments from Charles B., Jared Bush,
Nick, Tim, Mike Watkins. We appreciate that, everybody. Yes, we thank you for the thumbs up, Mike, Eric Verboken. If you like what you saw, again, please thumbs up or like us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Horse Race Today. You can follow me at HRT Rich. I might be kind of busy today, so I don't know if I'll be able to post anything till tonight. Tonight, again, we'll have on jockey Kevin Roman tearing it up at Fauner Park. That'll begin at 8 p.m. Eastern. So make sure you subscribe while you're here on YouTube. Hit the thumbs up there too. The more thumbs up we get, the better the ratio, the higher we go on the algorithms. All right, Terry, for the rest of the day, unlike the first race, we hope that your bets and all of your day and everything that you do, Terry, ends up in the
winner circle.
Absolutely. We'll see you tonight with Kevin Roman. Tomorrow, Terry and I will be back to try to tackle Horseshoe Indianapolis. Thursday, we'll take our shot at Keeneland. Till then, everybody, have a fantastic Tuesday.